Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. In today's video, I wanted to address something that I've been seeing a little bit more in DMs and also in the comments, and that is to do with heroes that you build early game. I've been seeing some comments talking about the fact that I've got a 2-star Chimera and a 1-star Lucius on my free-to-play account, and people are like, but they're bad in the late game, why are you building them? And on the other hand, I get the comments from people who say, you told me to build Chimera, but she's like a bottom tier at the end game. I just want to have a chat with free-to-play players, new players, just anyone in general who's wondering about this, and just sort of try and clear the air about why any hero in the game is actually worth building. So let's get into it. Now, like I said, I do have my 2-star Chimera and my 1-star Lucius. Now, these are both still fantastic heroes to build. I think the thing that people have to remember is, and especially talking to new players, is these heroes are amazing early game. However, they still do have a use late game. The key to heroes like this, and to any hero that you want to build in the early game, if it gives you joy in playing the game, go ahead, because it's all about having fun. They will still be useful later on. The one thing you'd want to avoid is investing too much into their signature items. As you can see, I've got my Lucius and my Chimera at 10. That's as far as I will go. Some people won't even bring them up that high. I just decided to for the extra stat boost at the start of the game. Plus, they still do have their usage in the end game, where it does become a little bit beneficial. But do not invest too much in signature items. Do not go past 10 is my recommendation on any hero that you're not 100% sure about. When it comes to signature items, you want to look further into the end game to see what's going to be good. That is something that's definitely worth doing. But up to level 10, you know, it's not the end of the world. You can get those purple stones fairly easily to upgrade things to level 10. Now, the reason these guys do become useful in the later game is due to the amount of dimensionals that are in the game. So as you can see on my free-to-play account, I do have my Ezio. Now, truth be told, you can miss out on these events and you can miss out on getting these heroes. However, we do always have Arthur in the shop. So he is one that everyone can get. However, the amount of dimensionals they've been putting into the game lately makes me think no matter when you come in, they're normally going to have a collab going where you're going to be able to get a dimensional. And this is where building any hero in the early game, whether it be for fun or whether it be because Chimera is just a pretty good early game carry, or Lucius is like one of the best early game tanks, just because they fall off in the late game doesn't make them useless. And that's why I think it's still even worth starring them up, because for me, especially on this account, as soon as this exchange opens, which is in 5 days, for anyone wondering that is waiting for this as well, at the current time of uploading, you can start over capping all your resources. As you can see, I'm about to cap on my labyrinth coins and my challenger coins. You can overcap and keep them in the mail. Things will stay in the mail for 7 days. As you can see, it's 5 days and 6 hours until the exchange. So you're safe to overcap. But because we have this coming, Irons is going to be my new main carry. And we have Albedo, who assists him very well. And with the dimensionals, you have to link them to a hero to get their star rating, and then you can't use that hero. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with building a hero, even starring them up, if they're going to be linked to a dimensional who's going to be part of your main team later on. Ezio is already part of my main team on this account. Albedo and Irons are both going to be a part. So Brutus is another one. He used to be considered one of the strongest heroes in the game. Now he's really falling off, but he still has his niche uses in that he's got this immunity for 8 seconds to death. So in some stages that's going to be amazing. And we also have his Roar, which is going to increase the physical damage received by enemies by 50%, which is huge. And then we also have this, and attacks cannot be dodged. So Brutus is actually still decent in certain situations, especially when you're fighting against dodge tanks, because they're going to take massive damage and also they can't dodge anymore. So I just think Brutus, Chimera, Lucius, all these heroes that I recommend people to use in the early game. I don't actually recommend building Brutus too much, I just say put him on the wish list because he's a great dimensional link. I've actually said that in some of my early videos. But to a lesser extent, we do have Lucius and Chimera, who I do build in the early game because they are two of the best heroes in my opinion for that early progress. However, once you get into the late game where they do start falling off, they still have a use by linking them to a hero. And like I said, Irons is going to be my main damage dealer. I'm going to link him to the Chimera, stop using the Chimera, and then we're pretty much good from there because we've got him at 2-star, giving him all those stats. The fact that your signature items are not linked, meaning that I'll have to put Irons with his own signature item, upgrade it separately, that is fine. I don't have to invest anything into this. So it's literally only the hero and the stars that carry over, and that is why I do not see any issue with building a hero specifically for early game, even if they are not going to be as good in the late game. Now, Chimera, she still has a use in the Nomura boss in the Twisted Realm. She's still best in slot over there. She's also decent, not top tier, but decent in some of the other boss fights if she is all you have. And Lucius is always going to have a usefulness in anything where energy bars carry over. The fact that you can start battles with his shield just makes it easy in Labyrinth, Peaks of Time, the Voyage of Wonders. So any of those formats where your energy bars carry over, he's just a really strong for the shields, for the healing. He's really good in those anyway. But like I said, there's a lot of times where you won't use them, you link them to a dimensional, it's fine. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about while we're on the topic of not building them too much is investing in the wish list over here in the furniture. Now, furniture is another one, like the signature items, you don't want to invest too heavily into these heroes. I'd say not at all. Especially Lucius and Chimera, they just don't have great furniture items at all in general. They have stated that they are going to rework signature items and furniture that don't really work with a hero's kit, so they may get a rework, may even be something that makes them viable in the late game. But yeah, for now, furniture is the most important one, and signature items to not invest in a hero. Like I said, even if it's just a hero you're building for fun because you jumped into the game, you're like, oh, that hero looks cool, let's build them. It doesn't matter. Even if you then pivot later on to go, okay, I want to build teams optimally, I want to look towards the late game, you've still got the use for that hero. And the cool thing is a lot of the support heroes can work at low ascension. So things like Rowan and Leica, you know, you can have them at low ascension and still get some value out of them. Then once you go, okay, that's what I want to build now, focus on those, you can then build them up and you're going to be fine moving into the late game. But that is pretty much what I wanted to cover. Just like I said, it's not going to be a long video. I just wanted to sort of have that discussion because it's something that I've seen a lot, and I've had some very salty DMs from people saying, why did you tell me to build Chimera and now you're putting her in like F tier? I think it was on the draft arena tier list. It's because she's a very good early game carry. When she's leveled above the rest of her allies to 240 while the rest are 220, she does heaps of damage, heaps of sustain, and she can carry your team. Lucius is just a fantastic tank in the early game. He's still okay later game, but he definitely does fall off. And that is why, because they are fantastic in the early game, good for progression, and then you can link them to a dimensional and have some sweet usage from them later on. Anyway guys, that is going to be it for this one. Only a short video. Hopefully that makes sense to people and we can understand why. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.